KCBS News Time, 8:20 as our News Watch continues.
Many Americans use the Labor Day weekend to shop for a new car as the current year model closeouts are underway to make room for the 2012s. This year, according to data compiled by the folks at Bay Area-based Chug.net, a search engine that maps the entire vehicle marketplace, dealerships across the country are bursting at the seams with their highest inventory supply of the year. For more on what Chug has found, we turn to the KCBS Newsline and Len Short, Chug's CEO. Thanks for being with us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Why haven't these cars moved? Are they dogs? Are they lemons?
No, actually, some of the best, most popular cars in the Bay Area are on the list. Sales have been slow. Earlier in the year, we had suffered some short inventories because of the tsunami, but the manufacturers have recovered. August sales started to turn up, and I think manufacturers are just flooding the lots, hoping for a good fall.
So, what kind of bargains can we expect to find?
Well, I think this is a time where the consumer can expect to base their price on the invoice value of a car rather than the sticker value. There are three truths in life: the death, taxes, and the price on the window of a car is not the price. So, I think inventories are strong. Some popular models are in high supply, and people can bargain. The best thing that a consumer can do is know exactly what they're looking for and then who has it, because supply actually determines the final price that they'll pay.
And that's where buyers have an advantage now over the old days, because you can do all that research online before you walk into the showroom, right?
Yeah, that's the whole idea behind Chug. You can, once you know what you want, you can search across all of the dealers and see everything that's on the lot. So what's available where and exactly who's going to compete for your business.
Len, can you tell us if there's any particular area in the Bay Area or maybe in the state where you can get a real good deal on a car?
Yeah, I don't think it's specific to an area. I think all dealers are very competitive in pricing. They move to essentially everyday low pricing. It's just a matter of how the consumer approaches them, and basically information is power. Dealers sell cars every day, but consumers don't buy them every day. They're in this position of having to learn how to do it every 3 or 4 years whenever they buy a new car. And the idea behind Chug is to make the marketplace transparent both for the buyer and the seller. So both sides know exactly what's out there, what cars are trading for, not what the sticker value is, but actually what they're selling for. And the consumer armed with that information and the dealer knowing that the consumer has that information is going to help them both arrive to the right price in a much, we think, a much better exchange between buyer and seller.
And what about the all-important financing? How willing are lenders these days to let that money go?
Yeah, I think actually car lending has really opened up. The industry stats are quite good. I think buyers are getting the money they need to make the transaction. That showed in August with vehicle sales up about 7.5% overall over the prior year. Bad news is the prior year was one of the worst years in history. So we're coming off kind of a low baseline. Normally, before this whole economic downturn, and dealers would sell 16 million new cars, every year, and we're down to less than 12 last year, and hoping to make about 14 million this year. So it's a comeback.
Oh, I'm sorry, Len. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No worries.
You talk about transparency for both the dealer and the consumer, and I'll speak for myself. I know, like you say, every 4 or 5 years you get a car, and you go through this dance, and it's like, is it really necessary?
It's not necessary, and nobody likes it. This is the fallacy. The dealer doesn't want it any more than the consumer does. But the industry has, and a lot of the third parties in this business. Our point of view is that there are two primary parties, the buyer and the seller. And what we need to do is create an environment where they can get to the point and have a happy relationship. That's what the dealer wants with their customer. They don't want a dicker. They want, to be able to sell a car for a fair price. They're not going to give it away, but they're going to be competitive with the price that everybody else is going to sell that car for. So we're trying to create an environment where consumers can retain control. have the power of information, and have a better exchange with the dealer who really wants that exchange to be direct as much as the consumer does.
Thanks for being with us, Len Short, Chug CEO, with some